We had talked to you coming into this game just about the idea that how resilient this Milwaukee team is. You know, even if they're down Middleton, down a starter, 1-1, lose a home game. You had warned your players about that. What did you see coming out of this gate? It just looked like Milwaukee just came out and it was just an onslaught after that, and they just kept coming.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I thought without question they were the aggressor tonight. I thought the difference, at least early, was I thought they knocked down some shots. We obviously struggled to shoot the ball. I think that in game one, both teams struggled to shoot, and I think in game two, both teams shot the ball a lot better. Tonight was a night where they shot the ball, better, and a lot better than we did, and I thought we lost our way. When we had a hard time scoring and making shots, and they obviously shot the ball better from three tonight, and I think when that started happening, I thought we had way too many breakdowns on defense. And obviously we got to be better, but I mean, that's what I've always talked about with teams that have won championships and have been through what they've been through. Like, there's not any situation, they know how to respond. And, coming out of the first two games of the split and us winning game two, they're going, regardless if Chris Middleton's playing or not playing, it would have been the same team, in my opinion, just with that experience and just their mettle, their fortitude, that kind of stuff. So it was, I think for some of our younger guys, hopefully a good learning experience of what it means to go to another level, because I thought they went to another level and we did not.
Bill, what do you think of the shot selection? It looked like a lot of jump shots pretty well tonight.
I thought we did get downhill some. I think what happened was they really sent a lot of people to the rim. And I thought, at times, when Lopez is down there, Giannis is down there, those guys are hard to finish over. You have to make the extra pass, and, you got to be able to, take some open threes. I think there was some times actually we drove in there and probably should have passed it when we did try to finish. But, look at the tape and figure out where we can get better. But I think with the way they're going to help, you're going to have to spray the ball out, because you're just not going to be able to get all the way sometimes to rim. And when you get to rim with their size and length, you've got to make good decisions when you get in there.
Was this the best they've been defensively in this series from your perspective?
I thought they were the aggressor tonight. I thought they were the aggressor. I've said this, coming into the whole, they've always been an outstanding defensive team. They've been very good defensively. But I thought they were the more physical team. I thought the first two games, we physically, I thought, competed really well. I didn't think that we competed physically as well as we needed to, but I did think they took their physicality up from games 1 and 2.
Is that kind of why I think DeMar had 9 shots? That's kind of like characteristic. Is that kind of what you're talking about? Just the way the defense was kind of swarming and kind of back?
Well, I think DeMar got downhill, and I think the one thing with DeMar is he's always going to try to make the right basketball play, and although he's an elite scorer, and that's what he does, he's also, I think, very underrated as a passer, and I think he's always kind of more focused on what's the right basketball play to make. And I think for him, when the ball's in his hand, you have a lot of trust and confidence he's going to make the right decision. So if it's a night where he's not going to take a lot of shots, but he's generating shots for other guys, I think for him, he's okay with that. And then obviously, I think all those guys' minutes got cut short. I think with a quick turnaround and playing again on Sunday, didn't play those guys in the fourth. So some of that's a little bit misleading, the total number of shots. But I think the ball was in his hands and in Zach's hands. And, you trust those guys to make the best decision, whether it's them driving it, shooting it, or trying to find somebody. And I got a lot of trust for DeMar's IQ when it comes to that.
What do you think about the way they committed to DeRozan defensively? And based on that, what would you like to see the team do?
I think they did that in games 1 and 2. I mean, they were really committing to him. I think you have to make some shots, to be honest with you. And I think that our inability to make some jump shots deflated us some. And, I think DeMar was willing to get off of it. I mean, we had a decent number of assists for as poor of a shooting nights we had. So I did think we were trying to pass the ball and move the ball. But when they're kind of packing the paint, we're going to have to take some of those shots. And, I think that they were very aggressive with DeMar. Listen, in game 2, they started trapping him. They were up after him. They were aggressive. They didn't really trap him tonight at all. They trapped him the last 6 or 7 minutes of the game, too. They didn't really trap him at all tonight. It was more when he did drive, they certainly were sending help. But I think they would. That's how they play defense. They're very, very help orientated in a good way.
It seemed like they were almost making a statement. He's not getting 41 again.
I mean, maybe. I thought DeMar got some fairly decent looks to start the game. They tried to direct him to certain areas of the floor. They tried to show a crowd on him. But listen, the shots that DeMar made when he got 41, I think if you ask those guys, they would say they were hard shots. Yeah, they were tough shots. It wasn't like DeMar didn't get 41 in game 2 on wide open jump shots with nobody near him. I mean, there was guys hanging all over him when he made those shots. I think when DeMar doesn't feel like he's got to a spot or a good rhythm, he's going to probably more often than not get off of it and pass it. But I think when he sees a crowd, but I think at times he was able to get to his spots and felt comfortable taking some of those shots last game.
Zach looked like he was limping a little bit toward the end of the third quarter. How did you think he looked, and how did he feel?
He wanted to go back in the fourth. So I'm assuming he was fine. He didn't say anything to me about it. So I didn't hear it, but he wanted to go back in the fourth.
What would you like to see? And, obviously, you just finished, but going into game 4, what would you like to see based on what happened here?
I really want to watch the tape, Sam, just to see, a little bit more. I mean, I've got my own personal opinions of what I think sitting there and watching it. I think sometimes without watching it, you say things and you end up coming back having to correct yourself. Again, I thought, listen, they got off and they shot the ball well. Allen made shots. Portis made shots. A lot of those guys made shots. And I thought we had fairly decent looks to start the game. We didn't really make very many shots, and give them credit. They played very good defense. And I've always said this, they're a very, very good defensive team. And they've been that way, the entire season. We've got to figure out a way how to learn from this. I do think there's a huge mental component to this, in my opinion, in the playoffs. Like when you go through game 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, there's different things that happen mentally. And I think for a lot of our guys, this is a new, and as much as you talk about the fact that you split in Milwaukee and everybody feels good, I knew and felt like you don't win an NBA championship with this group with the inability to respond. And, as much as you try to prepare for their response, everybody talked about Chris Middleton being out. And I love Chris Middleton. He's a great player. He's an important piece to their team. I'm not taking anything away from him. They were still going to raise. And maybe it was because Chris was out, they were going to raise it. So we've got to understand in a series that the mental fortitude, the preparation, the attention to detail, and the heightened awareness and just the overall intensity goes up with each game. And we're going to have to be able to find a way to bring it up to a much, much higher level than it was today.
Billy, did you feel like you guys played with enough pace offensively tonight?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't think so. I think we have to run better. I don't think we run well enough. I think that's an emphasis to try to get out in transition. We have to run better. I thought our pace was way too slow. We've got to space the floor. We've got to run. We've got to get out. And I think at times we're way, way too slow. That's just me. Again, I want to go back and watch the film. That's how I felt over there. I think, with their size and their length and their ability to offensive rebound, when you do rebound the basketball, you got to get out in transition. And I didn't think that, we got out well enough.
And it's not even so much. It's not even so much always fast break points. I mean, you get guys cross matched if you get the ball up court quickly. That's what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they do a good job getting back, and I've said this. For them defensively, they're a terrific defensive team, and they're good in every area. They rim protect, they get back in transition, and they rebound. But when you have opportunities to get out and transition in broken floor situations, to your point, where the floor is a little bit, even if it's not uneven, but it's cross matched or different matchups are happening or sides of the floor overloaded, you got to be able to attack. And I didn't think we played with enough pace personally.